Oi, oi, Dazzler. We may or may not be live. I think we should be. I'm just trying to check on my phone to see how it's going. But if you just talk as though we are, and then I'll dig out to see if we're doing. It's basically Cheltenham, mate. It's literally the night before Cheltenham. I am literally walking around with a semi most of the time anyway, just get excited by life. I'm fully hard for this. So if you'd like to use that image as much as you need, well, I check to see if this is live to the
We are
world.
live. Remember, we're live.
We don't know if we're live or not. We'll guess we'll soon find out, won't we?
might
We've obviously spoke a little bit today. How you been finding things? You excited for all that's to come?
Excuse my language. Yeah, I'm like really excited. I just want to get going now. Yeah, it's the afternoon where you sort of like I'm just tying up all the loose ends with like some columns, bits and pieces and stuff, and then like you're just sitting there, and you're just looking at the exchange market, see what's going on. Where, like, I don't know what it is, but whether it's validation or what you're looking for in the exchange markets, because what will be will be. But yeah, it's really, really exciting. Like, I don't know if I've backed Marine Nationale in the Supreme. Like, I don't know if the ground's going to go against him or what. But
let's not get into that yet. Come on. Right, I've found out that we are live. Oh. We've got a couple of people that are watching, so at least we know it's working. Hello. So I feel like I'll try and orchestrate this in some manner of decorum.
Yeah.
So we do get excited, right, mate? Like everyone will know the same. Like it's all consuming in it. Waiting for the declarations to come out just to see which horses are in there. Waiting for a little bit of money to come back from bets that don't run. Trying to find the best prices, seeing who prices up quickly. Looking at the exchange, like you say, like it is all consuming. We obviously do this year in, year out, and there's most of the people that be watching this won't be their first rodeo. Do you reckon it gets any easier? Do you decide each year that you don't want to stay up till the early hours, you stop looking at the exchanges, or is it literally all part of it? And sometimes I find it doesn't even really help. Like I don't know, I'm looking at stuff and I don't even know how it's helping me anymore. I don't know when to go in and not get in on some of these. I just get too excited. Do you?
Yeah, you're 100% right. That's what it is. It's just the excitement of waiting for it to happen, isn't it? You're looking on Twitter, looking at every single picture of a raindrop that people want to post out, or anything. How fast is the wind ripping down the track, and like it makes any difference like to us. Like your mind's made up by this point, isn't it? And yeah, it's just I just want to get it going. Got a big bet running well, not a big bet, but I will have a big bet running tomorrow, which hopefully can it'll make or break my day, I guess. But yeah, it's just really, really exciting though, because like that's what you said to me. I don't know if I've got time to have a chat tonight. I don't know why you wouldn't want to talk to me, but I have to speak about it. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, I'm just going to be sitting here on the exchanges, dropping little bits of money here, there, and everywhere.
Let's rewind.
What?
You said you're having a big bet on something on Tuesday, and you didn't even name drop. Tell the viewers, the people out there, they want to know where you're going balls deep on the Tuesday.
It's not balls deep. Like no, it's not a massive bet, is it? It's just a decent.
Yeah, all relative, but you're getting stuck into one, right?
Yeah, going to get stuck into El Fabiolo. It's not on yet. So I'm sort of waiting. I was watching him on the exchange. I was hoping to get 7-4 because I thought John Bond would be the one that would be the sure of the two. It doesn't look like that's the way it's going, and I think any sort of rain has only helped El Fabiolo as opposed to John Bond. So yeah, look, he's not going to get any shorter than 6-4. He can't do, surely. So I'm just going to hold off for a little bit and just wait. Hopefully I can catch that sort of middle ground around. Hopefully he goes 7-4. If not, I don't really care. It's Cheltenham, isn't it? You can be as price sensitive as you want throughout the entire year, but these 4 days.
Yeah, you obviously like. Yeah, and we always want to like get in at the right price, don't we? But like it is, there's sometimes deliberation can like kill us and all those things, and like it is, I don't know, it is just watching the markets. You are potentially right with the fact that John Bond could have been the one that would have shortened up, but genuinely, like in the last 10 days, it's flip-flopped a bit from it potentially being like a rock-hard Cheltenham to potentially soft, and that does make a difference to which ones are getting backed. You do get as well, right? I know this is going to sound really snobby and like a bit of a twatty comment to make, but I do feel like the better judges will come to the fore now that the final markets have opened. So where we had the anti-post markets, which were still running for, say, Wednesday up to last night, the liquidity on them is never that dense anyway, but it is like to a point where it's like you'll see moves, you'll see which horses are being supported, which ones are not in there. So Jerry Colon was one we talked about earlier, right? Weather and everything's gone spot on in his favour. He was 2.6 like a couple of days ago on the anti-post book, but then because that market will close at final declarations, people are probably getting a little bit cagey. People are just doing the last bits of trading or whatever, and he's over 3.0 on the exchange. I don't know what he is right now, but last time we looked,
3.94.
Okay, so he's going in a tiny bit. But I just mean that once they open properly now, like there's 50, 60 grand matched within the first like couple of hours. These are the markets now where the proper money, as far as I'm concerned, will start to come in. It won't necessarily happen straight away, right? There's lots of prices that get like races that get priced up. Like Marie's Rock yesterday was a prime example, right? Straight after final declarations, Bet365 priced the market. They went 100 to 30 with her, even boosted her to 7 to 2. On the exchanges, people that have got these accounts and they're happy to like layers bots, for example, there's a bit of money in there, but there's only so much you can get on at those points. So like we know, especially looking at her, that's stabilised a bit now, but a lot will be driven now, I think, between what the bookies do in the morning. We know like the 9 or 10 o'clock money in the morning of it is what affects the actual bookies prices. So it is just a case of sitting tight in it. So you've talked about El Fabioli getting stuck into there. You've talked about Marine Nationale a little bit. I know the people will already know this sort of stuff, but going down the comments, Harry Sutton, good man is Harry. I've given away his alias. He uses initials in his YouTube channel. I've just given his full name away. And unfortunately, Harry, we are live. He might not be Harry. Could be Harry Styles. He wants a Tuesday Dreamweaver, right? So let's do it.
Oh, Dreamweaver, okay.
Let's get something that you actually quite like. Bits of prices. Doesn't matter when he's in there. Let's just have a little go on him.
Okay, what we're going to do a joint one or what? 2 each?
Let's go separate because I'm sure he's quite happy to stick a couple of free bets on a separate Dreamweaver. Let's go for something that's going to pay like reasonable for like a £5 or something.
Okay, right. El Fabiolo's got to be in there for me.
All right.
I think he's got a huge chance, obviously.
Marie's Rock.
Yeah, let's see. I'm torn a little bit though because I do like Brandy. I do like Brandy. I know I do like Marie's and I do like Brandy. Like I said to you earlier, there's enough there for me to get out a winner if either of those two win. So
boring.
I wouldn't like sort of want to. I wouldn't sort of want to like steer him in the direction of one and then be celebrating the other. Do you know what I mean? On Twitter.
Yeah, but it's a novelty bet and it's going to be a £5 free bet that goes in there. I'll fill it up for us then because I know you've already put Takeo up before.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
If you were to do El Fabiolo, Marie's Rock, and Takeo, someone in the comments will tell me what the current prices are on odds checker. But what? Let's say 6 to 4, 12.50 got on Marie's Rock at 2 to 1 for argument's sake, 37.50, maybe say 40 quid. Takeo's going to go 4 to 1. That's 200 quid off a £5, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a Dreamweaver enough, innit? If not, stick in Manella Crooner in the last if you want to really roll the price up.
Do you know what I was going to say? I was going to say Mr. Coffee.
But you could on these bets just do it like split the bet between 250 each, and have 100 quid going on each of them, and hope that Garden Mesnil doesn't make it round.
What about this? El Fabiolo, Korak Rambler, who I think has got a great chance, and Mr. Coffee to place.
No, it's not a Dreamweaver, it's to place. Right, we've lost the audience. We've lost all of the viewers now. I feel like with the Wednesday stuff that's coming out as well now, I'm starting to feel like I want to get stuck into more of them. But Tuesday hasn't even happened yet. 40-hour decks, I find...
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, you start laying out so much days and days ahead. Like, before tomorrow's even run, you're going to have Thursday. Do you know what I mean? Then you're going to be like, right, I've got to lay that out. You've not even got... But
that's the key thing as well, right? With the declarations and where the market stuff are open, before the Supreme goes off tomorrow, we'll have the Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday markets in full flow. And it is... We've literally wait all year for this, didn't we? But all of a sudden, when those final declarations are confirmed, there's a whole sense of urgency that I've got to get everything on in the next 5 minutes or I'm not going to win.
It's crazy.
Everyone's the same though, isn't it? It's exciting. What's your plans for the rest of this evening then before Cheltenham? Because I know lots of people have like pre-rituals. I know a few lads that are down there getting drunk. I know some people going out on a coach tomorrow. Because of having the boy, will be stuck at home for a few days before I get down there Friday. So what's your plan for tonight? How are you going to see it in? Any traditions?
Okay, so no. But normally I turn everything off. Try and turn everything off. Twitter off. Everything off. Don't look at the markets on my phone and whatnot. Right, just turn it all off and just watch a film or something until tomorrow, and then I'll be up at 4 tomorrow.
What's wrong?
And then
a film? What film are you going to watch?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan of comedies, so like Will Ferrell and that sort of stuff. So I'll watch something that I've watched 100 times. I'm not a big like trier of new movies. Do you know what I mean? Like someone has to really recommend me a film, otherwise I'll just watch the same films I've already watched.
Fair enough.
God knows how long.
That's pretty bad, boring, isn't it? Mate, and
I know it's boring, but what it is, right? The reason I do it is because there is so much white noise going through my head all the time about like prices moving, and it's raining here, and now the ground's going to be heavy, or there's rumours or whatever, and I just need to my head's been in this for the last 3 months. I just need the night before, just where I just shut it all off. And that's it, and then wake up afresh tomorrow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think the one thing to mention as well is that, like, we've been doing these markets and everything and these races for the last few months, but these are completely different races that we're looking at now as opposed to what we were looking at 3 or 4 weeks ago.
True.
You get what I mean? So you can put yourself in good anti-post positions, like, you need to be able to sort of change and adapt with the race because it is a different race that you're looking at. So, for example, a good example of this is Sire de Burle, who obviously are like a big price to run into the frame. I know, but from the anti-post perspective, 100's one. You could take like 9 or 10 of them out of the market in front of him. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when final decks come through tomorrow, that's what that's his race then. So then you go back to it and go, okay, now he might be 40 to 1 chance. Do you still fancy him as much as you did, or how is the race going to pan out as much as you might have thought it would before horses have come out, etc.
Yeah.
So I like to wake up. What I know this is a long story. What I mean is I like to wake up the next day fresh, have a fresh look at it, and to see if there's any other angles where I can drop some money in here, there, and everywhere.
Lovely. So what I was going to say was we need to find a traditional film for you to watch every year before Cheltenham.
Yeah.
Because when I used to go to Cheltenham for the 4 days, the Tuesday, we always used to go into the Sudeley Arms, just out of tradition. And then because we've done all right anti-post punting every single year we were there, we'd have to go back in there every time. And then it'd get to the point, especially when we were staying there for the week, genuinely, one of my mates would count how many pints he had the day before, see how much he won, then the next day be like, right, I won this much money, I need to have a minimum of that. So we'd sit down, like, genuinely, we'd like start to calculate. We'd be like, right, we had 4 Guinnesses before we got to the Sudeley Arms, then we had 5 before we got to the race course. Liam was sick in the toilets before the Supreme, so we need to like keep the traditions up. But yeah, it doesn't get like that now. We're getting older and wiser, aren't we? They're on a coach load tomorrow. I will be taking my mind off things as well tonight, to be fair, as much as I poo-pooed you there. You got to do it in you because you get consumed by it and you need that mental capacity if you're going to be betting on the day. Before, when I was doing my anti-post betting, it didn't matter so much. And it didn't matter when I was at the race course, I couldn't get signal, all those bits, because my bets were on and didn't need to do anything else. Whereas now, Tuesdays probably I'm already set, but I want to start looking at the Wednesday stuff as well a bit more now. So, yeah, I need to be a bit clearer with it. So, do very little this evening. That is the
thing about going to the course as well, because that's what I found when I was working on the course for a few years. Like, I felt like I could make more money when I was... Oh, that sounds pretty pompous. But it feels like you can make more money at home than it like on the exchanges. And do you know, like, sometimes you have like just a last minute throw away 30, 40 quid on something at a price maybe that's, I don't know, you've backed a couple of times, you think, I'll just chuck 30 quid just in case he turns up. Some of those bets can be your biggest earners. Do you know what I mean? You've never spoke to anyone about it. You've never tipped them to anybody or anything. But in the back of your subconscious mind, you know that there's a reason that you like that horse.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can end up just throwing the last 30 quid at the last minute on it, and it can come through. So.
And that's the thing. It is like it's all relative to what people are betting, right? And like I say, I've done. I think I've probably up to about 1,600 quid's worth of bets for the week now. When I was doing anti-post, I was somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 every year. £25 like the point, might roll a few of them up. Now betting nearer the time, like maybe across the week. Depends how I go on the first couple of days, but I might end up staking, or like I said, I'm on about 1,500 quid so far, maybe 1,600. I'm going to have a little bit more on tomorrow, so I don't know. I just feel like by the end of the week, I'll definitely hit a couple of grand. So from my perspective, like you were saying there, like the little fivers and the 20 quids or whatever, but it's all relative, right? You don't need to be chucking chunks of cash. When I first started doing Cheltenham, I remember the first year I went there with my own like piece of paper. I'd been doing anti-post betting for a little bit before, but the first time I went there with my own little bit of paper was when Simon Sigg won the Arkle. That was the year that Big Bucks didn't run, got injured, or something happened to him around Christmas. I'd done my bollocks on him, started just chasing on Simon Sigg. But when I say I was chasing, I had £50 on Simon Sigg, I think, at 3 to 1. And I remember just being there with my little sheet of paper, just thinking, fucking hell, like I've got 50 quid on this horse. And even like now, if I'm having a reasonable amount on something, like I get to like a nervy level, but like I do feel like it's from a punting perspective, I feel like you have to go through the grades if you ever want to stake seriously big, because you're just going to make mistakes. But you don't need to be betting big to enjoy it or to have fun. Like I genuinely could sit through the week of Cheltenham and not have a bet and still enjoy it. It's nice to like put your money where your mouth is, because I do these types of things. I'm talking to people. I feel like what I'm staking is the best validation I can say to quantify how much I really fancy something. Because if I'm having £200 on something and I'm selling it like I fancy it, and there's another horse that I'm saying I really, really fancy this, I'm only having 20 quid on it, the way that I've talked about it might mislead people into how much they should be getting stuck into it. Yeah. But I've got confidence that I know I can make it. Like I can make some money out of it. And I don't want to sound like snobbish or anything. I feel like across the week, like I don't want to lose any money. No one does, do they? But like I can cover myself if I do. I don't want anybody out there thinking they need to up their stakes to make money, because at the end of the day, like I said, I've got 700 quid's worth of bets on the Tuesday. I'm going to need some luck this year, to be fair. I'm going to need 3 probably winners to come in to turn a bit of a profit, but I might be setting some bets up. I could have just had the 700 on Constitution Hill, but then people don't necessarily want to bet that way. If you end up staking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 quid tomorrow and you manage to make 20, 30, 40, 50 quid, you've probably done as well as I'm going to do, if not better. So staking don't matter too much, does it?
My missus said to me yesterday, she went, do you remember all those years ago when you used to sit there and you used to bet £3 and £5 on a horse and that? And I said, yeah. She went, who was that horse that you thought you had a load of money on? Because at the time I felt like £17 on a horse, like I thought was quite a decent bet. Do you know what I mean? Like at the time, because I was betting like £3 and £5 horses. And I think, I can't remember, it might have been Benny de Jure. It might have been Benny de Jure. I can't remember. It's written down, so I've just ruined my whole story because I've just gone blank. But yeah, and it's just weird, like you say, how you tend to go through sort of the grades and like.
And I think you got to do it at any stage of it as well, because it's the comfort level. When you get to the point where you like emotionally get like detached. So when Forheen and Valtor ran at the Cheltenham Festival, I had a Boyle Sports account where I got a double on them at 24 to 1, I think it was. So I had money already on Forheen. I didn't have very much on Valtor. But by the time Forheen was running, he was going for about £2,000, and it was probably off of, I don't know, maybe like 200 quid's worth of bets. I remember in the Racing Post, they gave an offer on Forheen that day as well. But at that point, like I genuinely felt really uncomfortable watching the race, just because even like, if he'd have lost, it would have been a couple hundred quid loss, which I mean I could have like took, but it would have been gutting. But I've sort of reached a level there where I was like, do you know what? I feel like I need to hover around these sort of stakes for a little while until I get comfortable with it, because you don't, like I say, you don't want to take the fun out of it.
You know, like in your gut, when you're putting a bet on a horse, you know if it's too much or if it's not too. You know what I mean?
And the problem with it then, it becomes like gambling, doesn't it? Because if it goes and wins, all of a sudden it's like, hang on a minute, I can do this sort of stuff. So like you have to like keep in check with your emotions. But that's why, like you're saying, like getting sleep the night before and things, you've got to put yourself in the best position, ain't you? All that's going to happen is if you up your stakes too soon or you're betting too much, you're just going to do your bollocks. Everyone gets like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, why have we gone into staking? No one asked about staking. Has anyone asked anything in the comments? Nathan's in the comments. Thanks, Nathan. Oi, oi. Watch Magic Mike. That'll calm you down, Daryl. Is an advice from the crowd. Grey Diamond's not running. He stuck it all on Stumptown instead. Quite like that. Someone likes Punta del Este. Got a squeak one on Heavy in France. Like, that's for the Boodles, I'm guessing, isn't it? Thoughts on why Brandy Love is getting back so much in the last 24 hours, Daryl?
Why is she getting back so much?
Because Mullins factor?
No, she's always been trained by Willie Mullins, mate. She's I think she's got a bit of a rounded action, so I think like softer the ground are better for her. I also just think that it was a market overreaction to her being beaten at Punchestown.
Yeah, we talked about it, didn't we? We talked about it after, didn't we? Like genuine, like. I know it sounds bad, like I haven't even got a penny on it, but I would have preferred her to get beat first time up for her chance at Cheltenham, because previously she wins well and then goes beat after, didn't she? She needed that run, didn't she?
Yeah, definitely. They've said that she had come on a ton for it. So, and I was told she looked a bit like fat and that, and I don't mind taking that. Like that's, I'd always listen to a negative on a horse, and this wasn't like this was like a negative before the race. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, fat
she's
bitch.
a bit fat, so.
Fat bitch, yeah.
But I think you'll see a different Brandy. Like, again, like my only concern with her is coming down to the last. Like when she's under full pump, is she going to put down on Paul Tanning? Because you can't afford to miss that last. Like, I know it sounds really stupid, but like that's where Marie's rock sort of really kicks in. She jumps the last and she quickens up that hill. And if you're coming down to that last and you miss it, you ain't going to pick her up, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? And Marie's rock's not going to be far away. So, yeah, look. I think she's got a good chance. I think she was just the wrong price. I think that the market on the day now will just correct her. So
right, I know there's more than just these 4 horses that are in it, but just a question for you. Come into the last, because it's feasible all 4 could be in a line. Honeysuckle, Epatante, Brandy Love, Marie's Rock. Which one of those 4 would you say is most likely not to be there at the last?
Honeysuckle.
Oh, see, I would have gone Epatante.
Nah, the thing is, I don't know. Yeah, I suppose I'm not a massive. I don't think Epatante was once 2.5 miles. I think she's always been a 2 mile. I just think it's. I just think she's just being moved around because of Constitution Hill and they can't win the thingy, the champion hurdle. Like, I don't think she gets 2.5 at Aintree on a flat track speed track, but she won't get 2.5. I don't think up the Cheltenham Hill. She was outstayed by Marie's Rock last year, but Honeysuckle has been beaten twice this season in 2 very slowly run races, and to me, stepping up in trip now, I don't know. I just can't see it. I think she's very much on the downground. I think she doesn't want to. I think she's. Oh, well, she's not gone. I won't say she's gone at the game because you shouldn't really say that because every horse has their sort of level. Do you know what I mean?
She'll get
has
retired.
a level they can win at anyway. But maybe at this level, there's a few horses that are on an upward curve, and she's sort of coming over.
Yeah,
the
but that's the nature of the beast, isn't it? Like it is that everything's got a time span. Otherwise, we would just have Arkle still running around winning everything right now, wouldn't we? And it's
just on the basis of what she's done this season, there's been 2 steadily run affairs, and she wasn't strong at the finish. I didn't think at Leopardstown last time, regardless of what Rachel Blackwell says. I didn't think she finished well because I thought Piper was up her ass, and you know, for me, I can't see her having that finishing kick that she once used to have. Rachel also used to run this course really well, so soon you'll see it tomorrow. Like when they jump the 3rd last. As she comes around a bend, Rachel was always kicked off that bend and just sort of free rolled home. I don't think she'll be able to do that tomorrow against some of these, like Marie's Rock, who's not going to be far away from her. Brandy Love won't be far away from her. So I can sort of see her effort petering out.
Going to be a good race, definitely for sure. Right, I reckon it's worth doing, right? I haven't done one yet, but I want to do a place pot for tomorrow. I like perming it up. I do still use Colossus bets because they you can do syndicate stuff on there, which is a good way of getting involved. The risk with them this year is their £20,000 guarantee tomorrow. And if you get a big, say Constitution Hill bombed and John Bon and El Fabiolo didn't both complete or whatever, when you get a big freak result, I remember a few years ago there was a place pot that paid in the tens of thousands, but they didn't even have that much in their pool. So so as much as I do like them, tote is the way to play it. I think you can do stakes really low down now as well. So happy days, get stuck in that. I reckon let's quickly run through. Right, we'll pick one in every race that we'd want to stick in the place pot. So that would be 64 lines if we're doing it. And if you really want to chuck 2 in there just for a bit of a cover, we'll do that. So if you were picking 1 in the Supreme and only 1, who would you be sticking in?
Marine Nationale, because I cannot see him out of the first 3. I just can't see him out of the first 3.
I do really fancy Faso Vega for the race.
But he's got blowout potential.
Yeah, but he has got blowout potential. So, I mean, I will have him in my place. But I think for the purpose of this, if I'm suggesting people are going to do it, I'd put Ilete Thompson there because I just think that there's not too many horses in the race that are better than him. But so we'll do them 2. We'll go Marine Nationale and Ilete Thompson. In the Arkle, I know exactly who you're going to go for.
Yeah, he's 5-4 on the Betfair Sportsbook now.
Fuck the sports, but right. So you're picking El Fabiolo in. I'm going hollow games, right? Because it is a team game. Think about it logically, right? There's 3 places up for grabs. If El Fabiolo doesn't place, it could be John Bon and Saint-Ouen and Dysart Dynamo. But any one of them 3 could potentially falter as well. El Fabiolo is going to be in the first 3, and if not, hollow games might sneak in there. So if we get a real big bomb, we'll get a real big bomb. So we'll do that. The Ultima, this is one where if you want to stuck an extra one in, you can. I would... Oh, you go first. Go on.
I'm slightly concerned about the ground, I must admit, for Oscar Elite, but I think he's a fantastic each-way bet. He was 3rd in the race last year. He comes good at this time of year. I know the Reynolds Town was a bit of a nothing race, but if you just watch him as a horse,
Yeah, he's in.
a performance to what he was last year. So him,
we'll have him, and then we'll pick one extra each as well, then, because I like him as well. So he's in. I've got one weird one, and it's not even one that I've backed in my selections either, but it'd be one I'd stick in the place pool for the potential bombing. I would stick Remastered him.
Yeah. Do you know what? I looked at him. I'm gonna have a couple of quid on him. I was going to put him in a column, but it starts getting like you start putting fucking loads of horses in the column.
Yeah, well, I've already backed half the field. I can't keep backing him. I got enough abuse for it yesterday.
Yeah.
So he's going in as well. Do we stick a third one in?
No, I think that's good. Prominent racer, Remastered, like the ground.
You don't even want Karach in there just for the sake of it.
Well, again, though, we're talking about blowout potential.
Yeah, but the Arkle. John Bon and El Fabiola have blown out in the Arkle. Hollow Games has come in first. The chips are down, right? So we're not putting Karach in, definitely, no.
No, because let me just say, because he's a win or nothing, I think, bet because of his racing style and because he's going to need luck in running. I don't think he's a race potential.
Right, champion hurdle.
Like, ain't going to be fucking hard to move it.
So what is there 7 in the champion hurdle, or is there 8?
Yeah, just put Constitution Hill in and then move on, isn't it?
But this is where the potential for bombing is, isn't it? If he's gone, think what it pays.
See, this is where your mind goes mad.
Sir
and
Eric.
you start coming up with all these theories that, you're now going to start saying to me, oh, well, what if Constitution Hill clips a hurdle and goes down or something, or blah, blah, this, blah, blah. You can't bet.
All right, we'll bank a Constitution Hill, but I will just say Sir Eric snapped his leg, didn't he? Bouverdale, Arena, Apples, Jade, none of those 3 place. That's when your pool pays massive. If the risk-adverse people at home wanted to stick someone in as well as Constitution Hill, would you just say stick Stateman in as well?
No, I'd stick Vauban in.
All right, do that then. We'll stick them 2 in. Make your own bets. We're not sticking it on, are we? Mares Hurdle. Marie's Rock's going in for sure. She's in the frame, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
I would still be sticking Echoes in Rain in there because just from a tactical perspective, if stuff happens with the others running their own races, she's just going to do her own thing. They may go stupidly quick as well, which I think will suit her. I reckon she could pick up the places, so I'm shoving her in as well. Do you want to stick another one in or just leave it as that?
No, again, Brandy loves a bit like win or nothing, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm happy
do it as that. Boodles, which will be the last leg. We're rolling upright. We've had some serious mishaps. We're into the Boodles, or we've had every favourite in and we need to get something beat. Who are you going for in the Boodles? Because mine's quite easy. Mine would definitely be Jazzy Matty.
Can I just say that that Mateague is now the 66-1 outsider, right? Despite the fact that he was close to the top of the market before his run at Kelso, even with his rating of 142. So that's just quite interesting, isn't it? Takao.
All right, and then I will make a word for Perseus Way, right? And again, I get romantic and I like to read into stuff that's probably not there. He looked okay as a horse at the beginning of the season. When he won that Chatteris Fen Juvenile, I've never seen a jockey so quickly dismiss the ability of a horse. They're always, like Barney Curley would say, you're up in them. They're always making him out to be, this is a proper horse, this will be a proper horse for the future. I'm pretty sure after the race, the jock was just like, definitely not a Triumph Hurdle horse. Don't think he's that good. Yeah, almost like they were trying to play him down. I just think that I think he's okay on his mark, so I might be tempted to put him in. Anywho, that's some sort of bet. What else should we tell the people to do? Everyone's probably getting fed up with us now, so is there anything of value we can add while we're here? This is one. Sorry, someone in the comments has mentioned the horse Risk Bell. Do you remember what I was saying about her earlier?
Yeah.
So horse Risk Bell, when we were talking about looking at the exchanges, right, I just leave it on a pound view because I want to see all the money's there. Darryl stuck it as £20 view just to see what sort of money's there. The whole of the Boodles market on the lay side, were in and around the prices they currently are. Risk Bell was 980. Literally no one wants to back Risk Bell. And if you look at the chart, she's a massive negative. So they're ones to potentially make note of what's happened on the exchanges. Don't let me put you off. She'll probably go and shit home now, but she won't shit home because she'll be pulled up. And
just while we're touching on that sort of thing, Cool Vala, who has been touted on Twitter as the big market mover from 40-1 into 12-1, is now out to 22-1. But there was no sort of mimicking on the exchange at all for that.
No, 20. I think 22p or 62p or something got matched at the 20s, but everything else was like 40s and bigger and stuff. And that's the key thing with it now, right? People, like, I swear, bookies will try and manipulate the prices, or people will just hype stuff up, and they can just get people back in at stupid prices. We'll all get it, right? The fear of missing out, won't we? Especially considering these horses that are the pinnacle of racing. There will be probably most horses in most races we've had some sort of a attachment to at some point. Like we fancied them or we thought they've had chances, especially in the handicaps. That we were running through the Grand Daniel, weren't we? Was it the Grand Daniel? Was it the Coral Cup? Coral Cup. We were running through that.
I've got a couple of good ones to the Grand Daniel. We'll touch on that in a minute.
We'll do that straight after. We were running through the Coral Cup, weren't we? And we were like most of the time you were happy to say no chance, no chance. We were going through and we were like, that could go all right. That could go all right. That could go all right. Then you get down, it's like 26 of the 28 we reckon have got chances. Like, it's madness, isn't it? What's the two for the Grand Daniel? Because I got no chance in that.
Have you not? So I've been back through it today because obviously Grey Diamond's come out, hasn't he?
Do it. But just before you start,
yeah,
I literally fell on Elixir, the Nuts and Time White. That's how much I'm struggling.
Right. Okay. Well, you can come with me then because these are much bigger prices, right? Do you remember last year how much we fancied Dancing on My Own?
Oh no, but he's up in the weights, isn't he, for being shit since?
He's only pound high, mate. He wasn't. He went really close at Aintree, didn't he? Do you remember I tipped the last day that day, and he went really. He finished second, but go and have a look at that field, like decent field that they beat that day. We fancied him last year. And he was backed, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then he drifted out before the off. I think like once the heavens sort of really opened. He's now 66 to 1 as the outsider of the entire field. I think he's worth giving a chance. But the horse that beat him at Aintree the last day, right? He's an 11-year-old, and I know you're going to screw your nose up, but this is a very lightly raced 11-year-old, right? He's won 4 times and finished 9th from February onwards. That's from 5 starts. Right? He absolutely dotted up at Aintree. Now, I know Aintree can sort of magnify or enhance winning distances a little bit, but he won with so much in hand. He's off 139. I thought they was going to come to Cheltenham with him last year, but they missed it. He ran all right at Sandown in January. It's like a little bit of a prep run for this. I've got a funny feeling he's going to be. I can see him being a big mover in the market, and this is a well-handicapped horse that doesn't have any trouble with any sort of ground conditions. He's very lightly raced. Like he's had, 18 starts under rules. He's won 3 of his 9 chases, finished in the first 5 of those 9 times. And he's well handicapped on that Aintree piece of form, as well as any other form previously. Definitely worth going and have a look at the last day. I think he's got a good chance. I want to be against the likes of Dino Blue. I just think that's a fucking talking horse. Like I can't have her better than 140. Andy Dufresne gets a first time tongue tie. Why? Why is he getting a tongue tie for the first time?
With ones like that as well, I swear that they put a bit of apparatus on because they've been holding them back, and they want to say, "Oh yeah, because we put the tongue tie on." Like they want a reason, didn't they?
Yeah, quite possibly. But Andy Dufresne's got a good chance, hasn't he? He's 155. A lot of these are exposed, but I just don't really like a lot of them in the market now.
Same. That's good though, because you get stuck into them at big prices, can't you? That's the way to do it sometimes. But like, we like.
You don't think it's this time, do you?
No, but it's just, like it frustrates me because do you remember this time last year the horse we got talked out of?
Who?
Global Citizen.
Oh yeah, Global Citizen. Yeah, Jamie, wasn't it? Talked to Savage.
But this is what I mean. So when it comes to Cheltenham, whether me and Darrell have said it, or Jamie said it, or Josh or Andrew Blair White, or anyone said it on their shows, Johnny Deneen's knocked a horse. Fuck what anyone else thinks. Like if you think a horse has got a chance. It's your money, your chance to have a little go. And when it comes to the Cheltenham Festival as well, like there will be some sociable runners, right? We'll see this. We got onto this in the Arkle, didn't we? I was livid. I was like, this fucking horse that's 250 to 1 shouldn't be in there because what if it falls and brings it out and ruins it for everyone? And then you got supplemented for it. Like I should know that, shouldn't I? And I was like, oh, if you've been supplemented, let's have a look at it. Then you said, look at his point, the comments on the Racing Post at the point. Invincible when fell 1 furlong out. I've started going through his comments over hurdles when he's getting beat off 110 saying, they're not trying, are they? They're not trying.
That's what I mean. You start creating this fantasy world where all of a sudden now you are convinced that this 250 to 1 shot's got a good chance in the other.
But I'm thinking now, this is your movie for the Monday night, isn't it? when this horse goes and dots off of 120 in an Arkle after being supplemented.
Can you imagine El Fabiano gets beat head by him?
Western Warhorse all over again. It never gets seen again. But then in August, it will come out that it's got some banned substances like Any Currency did when he fucking beat Josie's Order. The scumbag. Pay me out, Bet365. It's not fair. Although, don't take my money back from Xana here after he got drugged last year. I'll keep that.
Fucking City Island, who fucking spanked fucking champ when I was on at 33.
Yeah, no, but I got that wrong because look at his form since. He's franked it time and time. Oh no, he hasn't. He was obviously juiced up. But never mind. Right, we're getting to the end of this recording, so I feel like we need to wrap it up a little bit. Oh, mate, I really appreciate being able to chat to you. Full stop. Really appreciate getting to chat to you about the horsey stuff. I've appreciated all your support. Your content this season has gone next level as well. Like your Betfair anti-post column, considering it's only the second season you're doing it. And not to be rude, like from an anti-post betting perspective, you've been getting more into it as time's gone on. You're very thorough, very knowledgeable. You've got a good position this year, so fingers crossed you'll get some luck, mate.
Thank you very much, mate. It's really, really kind of you. And I repeat that back to you.
Fantastic. That's done. Appreciate all of you guys out there as well, right? Be lucky. Like we say, don't let anyone put you off your bets. Just gamble responsibly, be sensible. It is just a good laugh in it. Fingers crossed we will make a few quid, right? I'm pretty sure you're listening to a couple of reasonable judges. You'll know from the people that you're listening to who you want to side with, who you don't. I don't just listen to the opinions of people that I want to agree with me. That's why I love talking to Daryl, because he literally tells me I'm wrong over and over. But sometimes it validates you inside, doesn't it? If someone's telling you you're wrong and you think, no, I'm right, it validates how strongly you believe in something. So keep talking to people. If you've got no one else to chat to about horses, then drop the comments, send us messages on Twitter, etc. Not direct messages. I'm not answering your low-life messages on there. Just comment, like, and subscribe. Be lucky, and we'll see you at the end of the festival. Cheers, Dazzler.
See you on the other side.